Hello everyone, I am Tiberius Dawnbringer, and today we're going to do a video that works with, the 7th video in my series dealing with the stones that I use for each individual chakra, and we are working on the last chakra today, which is the Crown Chakra. It is a chakra that is like right here. Sorry, there we go. Right there, right above the top of your skull, is the Crown Chakra. Is usually associated with the color purple, and it usually has to deal with communication with your higher self, higher dimensional, interdimensional beings, just pretty much anything that's not of this realm. Your Crown Chakra can be used to connect with and communicate with those types of beings. And it's also the Crown and the Third Eye Chakra both deal with psychic abilities as well. And so they're very closely related in the particular properties that they have and the things that they do. But anyways, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stones here that I'm going to go over with you today. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the Smoky Quartz chakra. Smoky Quartz stone. This is clear quartz, but it's got some other minerals added into it. I honestly am not sure what kinds. I think there's multiple kinds that get mixed in. It depends on the geographical location that you find these stones at as to what other minerals are get mixed in with it. But well, you can see you can't see through it right there, but it's got this brownness to it. This is more of a lighter brown color. I've seen smoky quartz that have like a dark brown color, and I've seen a few smoky quartz that have their black smoke looking color to it. This is good for grounding and balancing. It neutralizes electromagnetic pollution, things like Wi-Fi, right, that comes from, or the energy that comes from cellular towers that go to your cell phones. When you get a phone call, that's electromagnetic energies, and we refer to it as pollution because that's pretty much what our world is being covered with right now. Technically, Wi-Fi, or the very essence of Wi-Fi, has always existed around us, but when we develop these machines, these technologies to focus it, project it, and put it out in a way that will service us, i.e. the internet and things like that, the way we manipulate that energy can affect us in a positive way, a negative way, or in no way at all. But the current level of technology that we have for such devices is not that good. It's actually developed, I want to say intentionally developed, to where it has a negative impact on our energetic bodies, our auric fields, our physical bodies as well. But then again, anything that affects our energetic or emotional bodies will also eventually affect the physical body as well. And but that's sounds like a conspiracy theory. I won't get into that because that's not what this video is about. So I'm going to move on. The next property it has, it amplifies energies, which pretty much anything quartz related, whether it's smoky quartz, clear quartz, or any other stones that maybe call it something else, but like a base part of that stone is quartz. Quartz itself is a great stone for amplifying any and all kinds of energies. I have multiple clear quartz stones, and I generally, even if I don't use them during one of my sessions directly, I keep them around specifically for the amplifying of the healing energy that I'm putting out. So it's always a great stone to have, all general purpose stone to have with you, especially if you're just starting out with this kind of material. You know, clear quartz and any kind of quartz is great to have. This also cleanses and detoxifies, which, you know, makes sense, coinciding with neutralizing electromagnetic pollution, which causes toxification within the human body. So it's great for that. Good for healing grids. I talked about crystal grids in one of my previous videos. Crystal grids can be made for multiple reasons or purposes, and a healing grid is not an uncommon reason or not an uncommon, you know, aspect of a crystal grid. So smoky quartz is good for that, and given the previous cleansing properties I've mentioned, it makes sense that this would fit really well into a healing grid. And then it also provides psychic protection. So a good protective, grounding, healing stone in smoky quartz. Can't go wrong with smoky quartz. Next on the list is Iolite. It is a deep blue stone. I'm gonna try to get a good angle on it. Yeah, actually it's not that bad. Pretty much what you're seeing is what it looks like. The only way I could show you any more defining features were if I would actually take it out into the sunlight. I'm trying to get a good angle on it. That might work. But yeah, it's pretty much just like this dark blue all over the place kind of stone. But this is a really good stone. It helps recover balance. I'm not sure if that's like a energetic balance or if it means like physical balance, but maybe it's both, I don't know. Motivates, provides self-assurance and endurance, helps with money management. I can already think of a dozen people that would benefit from this for that fact alone. Restores perspective, promotes creativity, and aids with astral projection. Astral projection, I have tried it on multiple occasions throughout my life. Not once. I actually just recently learned about Iolite and its properties, so kind of wish I had known that when I attempted to work with astral projecting. It may have actually helped, I don't know, but in the future, if I decide to try it, I will definitely keep this stone in mind. But if that's something you're looking to get into, and I don't discourage people doing anything like that, you know, when I got into this, one of the first subjects I got into with my spiritual growth and awakening was like lucid dreaming. That was a fascinating adventure, and I still experience it every so often, like every 6 to 8 months. Like it'll just automatically happen. Like I'll just start lucid dreaming again, and you know, and that's usually when I have the best dreams, and I always end up writing them down. They're usually long and detailed, you know, and that's fine with me. But astral projection is something other people try to do, along with people trying to just activate psychic abilities, telepathy, things like that. So if you're focusing on astral projection, then here you go. I just showed you a stone that works exactly for that purpose. So, alright. Next we'll go into Amethyst. This is a stone that most people that don't, even if you don't focus on stones, people have heard of Amethyst. It's one of the most well-known stones in the entire world. Alright, and this stone, I have 2 specimens I'm going to show you, but this stone has a lot of properties to it. And it's probably why, one of the reasons why it's so popular, besides how pretty it is. So this stone, here's the first specimen I'll show you. This stone works with the crown and third eye chakra. It looks very close to clear quartz, but you can kind of see like the purple streak going through there. And you can't really see it from this side, but there is a purple streak going through here. It's very light. This used to be a lot more purple than it was, and I will explain why that changed later on, but I'll go ahead and show you the second specimen. Here's another piece of amethyst. Now that is a deep purple going through that. You can still kind of tell that it's quartz that's all going through, but this is amethyst. This is probably my favorite piece out of the two, just because of how damn purple it is. You know, when I went to this store a while ago and saw this piece, I was like, I am not leaving here without this piece of amethyst. And I wasn't even there for amethyst that time, but they had just gotten these in and they were just getting ready to put them out, and I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, I am getting this. So let's see, let's go through the list of properties amethyst offers. So it's protective stone with high spiritual vibration, absolutely. It's both crown and third eye chakra, so this is good for if you're wanting to communicate with your higher selves or other higher dimensional beings or extraterrestrials. If you're interested, this can aid in that practice. It has a sobering effect, which is unique about this stone. I will actually take this with me when I'm going out, and I plan on going somewhere where there's, even if it's just a little bit of drinking involved, or some nights out of the week I'll go to like this family dinner on the farm that I live on, and 99% of the time there's going to be a little bit of wine involved. I'll try to take this with me if I remember it, but you know, I don't drink that much anymore anyways, but still, I have had a few times in the past couple of years where I've, you know, said screw it and had like 1 or 2 or 5 more than I was planning on, and this helped. It helped during the process. I'm not saying to take this with you to encourage you drinking heavily. It's just when I was working on my 3rd or 4th one and I had this on me, I noticed that I felt like it was only like maybe on my 2nd. So it kind of helped regulate that. And the next morning when I woke up, I felt no ill effects from the night before, you know. So great stone. I always promote this for my friends and family, especially the ones I know who like to drink more often than I do. Great stone to have just for that purpose alone, or that property alone. But that's not the last property on the list. So what else do we have? Good for calming, focus, common sense. Again, I could think of a dozen people that would be great for. Helps with sleep, insomnia, and nightmares. That's, well, I always have 1 or 2 of these in my room when I'm asleep, so I can't recall the last time I've ever experienced a nightmare. Then again, I don't really have a lot of those kind of traumas that promote nightmares. And nightmares aren't really as bad as they come off to be if you really know the purpose behind them. Nightmares, like a lot of dreams, are pretty much just trying to, it's just your subconscious trying to bring up you know, particular items or situations that are unaddressed within your subconscious, you know. And if we could just teach ourselves that and train ourselves that, you know, one, when we recognize we're in a dream or a nightmare even, that this is all serving some highest good within us, and to just experience it and to handle it, you know. I could go way in depth with that, because dreams, honestly, dreams expand beyond this realm of reality, so it's a huge topic, but I will move on from that. So this enhances memory, it helps with emotional centering, it alleviates grief, sadness, anger, fear, and anxiety. Again, you know what, the more I talk about this stone, the more I want to just go and buy like 10 or 20 of these and just gift them to people. Because I know quite a few people that have anxiety issues alone, and fear. Fear and anxiety are very closely related. So if you have one, you probably have the other to some degree, and vice versa. Grief, sadness, anger. If someone were to lose a loved one, I wouldn't find it to be rude or bad idea to gift this to them. It could help with the mourning process. Who knows? And it also helps relieve pain. Anything that helps relieve pain is always good in my book. It's always good to probably have 1 or 2 types of stones like that on you at a time, simply, even if you're not experiencing pain. What if you're walking down a trail in the woods and you twist your ankle or something? There, you already have something with you. just to be prepared. Before I move on to the next stone on the list, I did say I was going to mention the other amethyst. So I briefly touched on pyramid technology or pyramids in general in like another video. And pyramids, the power of pyramids is not common knowledge to the general public, and there's a, well, I won't say there's a good reason for that. It's not that good of a reason, but there's an understandable reason why that kind of knowledge has been suppressed from the general public, because the power of technologies is immensely incredible. You can, if you took like a properly built pyramid, right, one that had like just an opening at the base of it, and you could take something like seeds for crops that you're going to grow for that year. You could take them in there and place them in there for like a day, maybe 2, and then take them out and plant them. And not only would the crops grow faster, but they would also yield, like, I've heard reports of 1 to 2/3 more than they normally would in one, season. If you took people that were injured or, say, suffering from something that's slowly killing them, I won't say anything out loud, but you were to put them inside of these places for like maybe a day or 2, or actually the human body can currently only handle so much of that type of energy from a pyramid. So if you did it in intervals or something like that, it would actually heal them a lot quicker. It encourages, pyramid technology encourages rapid regeneration and such. And if you can take things like crystals and such and put them in or under a pyramid, then it charges them and powers them up so much quicker than most other methods, at least that I know of. I could make a video about that too. But anyways, the thing is though, is that if you put certain stones in a pyramid, like amethyst for example, I mentioned it several times already. Amethyst is a quartz that has, the amethyst mineral or whatever makes up that particular mineral inside of the quartz. I want to say citrine is another quartz that has like an added mineral to it. Smoky Quartz, rose quartz, which I did in the heart chakra video. But mainly a lot of quartz that aren't already clear quartz have other properties or minerals in them that make them a different stone, right? So when you put crystals inside of a pyramid, the energy that the pyramid produces and puts out sets, a vibrational frequency within its structure. And so when you have a crystal just sitting in there, it is literally vibrating from the energy that's resonating all around it and into it. And it also vibrates on a molecular level. It resonates and vibrates these stones. So it literally will, I'm trying to shake it, but it literally will shake out the other minerals that are inside of the quartz itself. And scientists have actually done these kinds of studies. They have taken things like amethyst and put them in there for 1, 2, maybe 3 days, and when they picked them up, they were completely changed back into a clear quartz crystal. And they would notice that there would be like little piles of powder underneath where the stone was, that was the material or the mineral that was inside the stone itself. I didn't take that into consideration when I got my my copper pyramid that I showed you all not too long ago in a previous video, and I started putting stones underneath it. This is one of the ones I put under there a few times, and probably the last time I did it is when I finally caught on. I was like, well, you're not as purple as you used to be, and I was correct. And I realized then that it was because of that fact, that the pyramid was actually vibrating this on a molecular level, and the mineral that was inside of it that made it purple was being shaken out. So it's sad, but whatever. That's how you learn. So now I'm extra careful what stones I put under my pyramids. So, talked about amethyst long enough. Going to move on to the next stone, which is Rainbow Moonstone. Yes, it is a brilliant white with black specks all throughout it. This one only has a few black specks on this one tip of it. You can see just a smidge of black throughout it, but it's mainly this milky white coloring with the black in it, and it's a pretty stone. I definitely am drawn to it. It's nice. It helps to balance yin-yang energies, or masculine feminine energies. I want to say yin is the feminine and yang is the masculine energy, but that's pretty much what it helps with. It helps balance that energy within all of us, because even if you're born a male, you have both energies within you. Just like if you're born a female, you have both masculine and feminine energies within you. You know, some people would say homosexuals, like homosexual males, have a lot more feminine energy within their physical and energetic body, whereas, you know, some homosexual females would be considered to have more masculine energy than feminine energy, or, you know, tomboyish females would be considered having more masculine energy. I don't always agree with that. I mean, it could just be your upbringing. If you're like the only female sibling in a group of nothing dominated by males, like 2, 3, or even 4 other brothers, and yeah, you're probably going to, you know, be more encouraged towards, I don't want to like sound all gender or whatever, but, you know, more masculine activities, behaviors, even dress like or whatever. But anyways, I'm getting way too off topic here. So this helps balance masculine and feminine energies within one's body. Good stone for that. It intensifies your feminine goddess energy. That's another one that's inside of us. It's pretty much just a feminine aspect of our energetic body, but some people like to refer to it as the goddess energy. I have no problem with that. I like knowing that I have goddess energy within me. So yeah, may heighten psychic abilities. Makes sense because it's a crown chakra stone, and I said earlier in the video, crown and third eye stones, or the chakras themselves, are closely related in the particular properties, qualities they have, activities that they're involved with, you know, such as psychic abilities, intuition, higher realm communication and such, telepathy. Helps one to embrace their gifts. I assume that's referring to like your intuitive or empathic or psychic abilities, but it could also be other gifts, like maybe you're a gifted artist of some kind, where it's, you know, painting art or music or writing books or anything like that. It helps one to embrace their gifts. Great. That's awesome. Alright. Clairvoyance and Visions. Again, another, that's along the lines of like psychic abilities as well. Clairvoyance is a form of psychic ability. It's the one where you can see beyond, it's like sight beyond sight. You know, you see this far, but when you use clairvoyance, you can see, you can remote view other things. You know, even things you've never seen before, behind walls, inside the earth. Some people can remote view out into outer space. All kinds of things. You can remote view pretty much anywhere you want to, as long as you know how to do it. So this would be good for that, and helps with protection, love, and romance. Excuse me. So Rainbow Moonstone, beautiful stone. And probably the reason why it's called rainbow, I couldn't get it to work even with the light, but if you get a good piece, there's you'll see like a rainbow reflection within the surface of the stone as well. And I'm going to move on to the last stone I have for the Crown Chakra, and one of the most bomb diggity stones I've ever come across, and it's Motavite. You may have heard of Motavite because it's a very popular stone right now, and it's an extremely rare stone. It looks like dark green glass almost. Like if I got in the right kind of lighting, you could sort of see through it. At least you could see the light shining through it. And it's got like kind of like a rough surface. But this is literally from a piece of meteorite that landed here God knows how long ago, but it's mainly found in Russia or around the Russian territories somewhere. And it's extremely rare. I've said that before. And this piece here, it's like the size of my thumbnail. This piece was almost $100. That's how rare the stone is. That's why it's expensive, is because of how rare it is. Okay? So, yeah. I love this stone. When I first got it and got home, I placed it on my third eye to see what would happen, and I literally fell over. I learned after that to, lay on a couch if you're going to do something like that, just in case, for that purpose. So it's a rare stone, aids in Earth's transition and healing. I'll get back to that in a second. Brings you into being with the higher self and extraterrestrials. Alright, so earlier I mentioned like trying to communicate with higher self, interdimensional beings, extraterrestrial beings, using your crown chakra. This is a good stone for that. I've actually used this for that specific purpose. I personally never got into like direct communication with any types of higher beings, but I have had, it has encouraged strong dreams where I met higher density beings and such like that. My recollection of the dreams wasn't as good as I would have liked, but I know that there was a lot more to it than what I could remember. So if I just stuck with the practice, I probably would have experienced even more fluid and frequent communication, because usually extraterrestrials, higher selves, whatever you want to call them, spirit guides and such, when they try to connect with you and communicate with you, most of the time it's going to start through dreams, because that's when we're sleeping and we're dreaming, we are in that level of consciousness where it's easiest for that kind of communication to flow through, and that's how it would start. This facilitates the ascension process. So, well, Earth's transition and healing and the ascension process kind of go hand in hand. So I'll go ahead and talk about that. I'm going to put this down now, so I'm probably going to use my hands a lot. Okay, so depending on how in-depth you will go with this spiritual topic, or people you talk to in a spiritual community, or hell, even right now in the mainstream, I'm hearing people talk about that humanity is getting ready to go through an ascension process where we spiritually evolve to the next level of consciousness. We literally raise our level of consciousness to, some refer to it as 5D or fifth dimensional. Others refer to it using density, like we're in the third density now, we're going to elevate to or ascend to the fourth density. I'm more familiar with density, so I'm just going to say fourth density. But that's what the ascension process is us graduating from the spiritual class that is third dimensional reality on Earth, and we're going to graduate to the next higher level of spiritual learning, which is fourth density. Alright? But we're not doing it by ourselves. The planet is also going through an ascension process along with us. The planet we are on is a 3rd density planet, and it is evolving into a 4th density planet. It's going through its own transition, and let's face it, we haven't exactly treated the Earth really well, so it's hurt, it's damaged, it's healing, and we are working on healing it. We are helping to facilitate its healing process along with our own healing processes, right? So when this talks about aids in Earth's transition and healing, Motavite is for that purpose. So if you can spend the cash to get a piece, you're just doing yourself a service. Go ahead, try to find it. If not, no big deal. There's plenty of other stones out there. Just even the ones I've shown you so far is just a small fraction of what exists out there. There's so many more. I learned about a new stone yesterday. I won't go into that topic, but there's just more and more out there that we don't know of. It all seems new, but the one I came across yesterday apparently has been around since before the 1930s. And I'm like, this is the first time I've ever heard of it. Well, get used to it. That's what it's going to be like. There's so many stones out there like this. So, yeah. Anyways, I could talk more about the ascension process and all that in another video. This one's just over 30 minutes, a little bit longer than I anticipated, but whatever. Good information. You're all benefiting from it. I appreciate you all being here, taking the time to exchange energies with me, and I want to express my gratitude to all of you. And I will see you in the next video, which should be coming out very shortly. You all have a great day, and namaste.